Horsey McHorseface is back. So I'm driving, and I'm like, stupid plastic badge, and
not even here with the lighting controls on. And then when you look over here,
it looks bigger than it actually is. It's not like overly opulent. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today you join me on a lovely day with the all-new Audi E-Tron GT Quattro. This is the new entry-level Audi E-Tron GT, and it is glorious. So Martijn already did a review with it near Munich, but the weather was horrible, was soaking wet, and of course we always want to drive cars on our own, well, spot, because we have the same B road, the same Autobahn, and it makes it a lot easier to compare cars, also for you guys, but also for us. So today I'm going to show you around it. I'll show you a couple of the updated things for the facelift e-tron, but we have already covered that in previous videos. We've got one up here of the new crazy RS e-tron GT Performance, which is ridiculous and super fast, ceramic brakes, 1000 horsepower, whatever. Amazing car. But I have a sneaking suspicion that this is the one to have, because it's got the biggest range, and also the base car is just already really good. So that's what we're going to do today. I'll show you around it, I'll show you the spec, I'll show you the interior, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Horsey McHorseface is back as well, by the way. I haven't seen him in a while. Always nice to have him back. Anyway, this is progressive red. We've got new headlight design with this sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 part DRL, daytime running light. Oh, that's Horsey McHorseface's boss there. Don't know where he's going. Anyway, we've got a slightly updated front end with, well, still I think it's a very handsome car. I actually think it's a better looking car than the Porsche. Of course, it's twin brother. I think this is a better looking car, but if I were to buy a Porsche Taycan, I would always buy the Cross Turismo, because I think that's just the coolest and best looking one, and you don't have that for Audi. I don't understand, why isn't there an e-tron Avant? That would have been amazing, because I think it's actually a very handsome car, probably the most handsome car Audi sells at the moment. Unfortunately, we do have that new stupid plastic badge. Don't really like that one. We've got black trim around the car, all around the car actually, so the mirrors, but also the bumpers and the window surrounds. You guys know that I always love chrome or brushed aluminium or something like that, because it just, I think it enhances the look of the car a lot. Anyway, enough grandpa talk. This is the base version, but you do get air suspension as standard. In the Netherlands, you also get these 20-inch RS design wheels as standard, which is very nice. So this is a 245 20-inch Continental Sport Contact 7, which is actually a really good tire. Behind that, regular steel brakes, air suspension, as I said, 2-chamber, which is incredible. Now because this is the base version, you don't have that active suspension with the 48 volt, with the stabilization, the whole leveling out thing. Don't worry, you don't need it. Do not select it in the configurator. You don't need it. It's very expensive, and it's only marginally better than this system. Yes, it's super comfortable and it's very, very impressive what it's able to do, but when we had it in that car, I found myself turning it off all the time because it just felt unnatural. This is a really, really good suspension setup. It is really comfortable when you want it to be, but when you switch to dynamic, it tightens up and it is glorious. Rear wheel steering is very nice because it does sort of improve the agility and the maneuverability. New rear lights as well with that arrow design, super nice. Again, lovely, lovely rear end. Very, very good looking car. With that diffuser, with the spoiler integrated here, the big hips. Hips don't lie, I've been told. And then you also have a frunk. You don't have an opening thing. I don't think you have an opener there, but heeft er een frunk? Heeft hij geen frunk? Hey, doe eens even normaal.
normal cars, I want to say normal cars, but traditional cars, you have some sort of latch under here, right? To open up the hood, right? There's nothing necessarily under there. There's no button on the touch screen, on the steering wheel. not even here where the lighting controls are. And then when you look over here, well, we have the trunk release button, but where is the front release button? Well, that's when you come over to the door panel in here and you look right here, it was right in front of you.
It is actually over here. Just checked some video. So quite a practical frunk. I think it's 77 liters, which is decent. Your washer top up as well. It is a really nice GT car. Of course, you've got a decent trunk as well, but it would just be better as a touring, as an Avant. I think we can all agree. It's quite a deep trunk though. So, rear space, you guys also want to see that? Is relatively limited. It's not the most spacious car. Not going to try to fit in there. It's not the most spacious car, which is an issue for me. I felt like that with the Porsche Taycan as well. It looks bigger than it actually is. So interior wise, it is also not my favorite bit of the car. I think it is sufficient. I do prefer it over the Porsche Taycan interior. This is a lot nicer. You've got a lot of regular buttons actually down here, right there for the climate, for your seat heating, great. Physical audio, great. That's all good, but it's very, I don't know, it's not very luxurious, is it? It's not like you're sitting here having paid like 100 grand and you're like, wow, yeah, I've really treated myself this time. I've got an Audi with, well, partly A3 parts, a really horrendous logo on the steering wheel. Yeah, it's not like overly opulent. Let's call it that. We do have some wood trim, which I like. I quite like that whole juxtaposition of having an EV with wood. So good job. Nice sport seats as well. Panoramic roof, optionally, really great. Do select that because it makes the cabin a lot more spacious. And for the facelift, a couple of changes. We've got a new quicker steering rack and new suspension setup that was carried over from the Porsche Taycan update. Of course, that new rear wheel steering setup as well. And we've got a 97 kilowatt hour battery. So let's go to dynamic. You've got the GT Quattro, which is the base level, which is this, the one to have. You have the S E-Tron GT, the RS E-Tron GT, and the RS E-Tron GT Performance, which is the one we drove in Germany earlier this year, which is the crazy version, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, really impressive car, but this is the one to buy. 622 kilometers of WLTP range and 588 horsepower, more than enough. Let's be honest. You've got a rear drive chassis. You've got a great balance. It is a heavy car, but well, not as heavy as an M5, I think. But you've got all the weight down low. New battery pack is 9 kilos lighter than before. Still weighs 625 kilos, which is more than that Ariel Atom we drove recently. Just the battery pack, which is kind of nuts. But they have improved it with new cell technology, more efficiency, more performance, and again, you don't really need anything else. You don't need more than this. You have the best range. So this is 622 up to 622 WLTP. That S E-Tron goes down to 609, and then the RS goes down, and the RS E-Tron Performance goes down as well. Because you have the same battery pack, but the cars just, they ask more from that same pack, right? So that's why you have a lower range, smaller range. And it's more than fast enough because that power is delivered instantaneously, and that means that it actually feels more powerful than it actually is. Oh, one very annoying thing, by the way, if you turn off anything, so ESC off, you have this very annoying notification at the bottom of the screen all of the time. When you get in it, Sound check. When you get in it and you immediately turn off the lane keep assist by holding that button on the stalk and pressing this star button, which I have shortcut to the speed limit warning, it always, all of the time, let me just, I'll show you a little bit later. All of the time it shows that. Okay, so you need a bit of a wet surface to really slide it from a standstill, I feel like, but I think if you have a bit more speed it will go very sideways, which is great. The balance in this car with the quicker rack as well, it's just great. It's a great car to drive. So if I go to efficiency, like the regular setting, I'll turn on the speedo cam so you guys can see it. I'll hit this button right there to turn off the speed limit warning. You get a little icon down there, and then I'll hold this one to turn off the lane keep assist, which you also have to do every time you get in the car. And then now this is going to switch between those two icons all of the time. So this is never going away. This will always be there. Super annoying. Top speed 245 kilometers an hour. You get a bit more top speed as you go up in the range as well. But, you know, with this amount of power, there we go. Yeah. It's already so quick. You don't need any upgrade from this power wise. You really don't. In your daily life at least, you really don't. So we're in dynamic mode for the suspension, and well, it's super nice and soft. But if we want to go to, well, we can also select individual and go for everything in sport except for the suspension. One thing that really bothered me though, so imagine this, I'm driving and I'm like, oh crap, I need to fill up, I need to charge it. So I'm driving and then I'm like, okay, I need to search for something, which oddly enough is legal. Your phone isn't, but this is. So I'm like, okay, I want to go to a charger, right? And then it starts searching. And then I've got a list right here, so I start scrolling, but at a certain moment it limits it, but it's quite quickly actually, and then you have to say, yes, I'm the passenger and not the driver, but I need to find a charging spot. And do I really have to stop? No, I have to do voice command, but it sucks, or I have to use the thing. But that doesn't work if you have to scroll through options, right? You're just checking like, oh, where's that one? Where's that one? How far is it? No. Very annoying. Oh, 160 foot down. More than enough punch. It also, it kind of keeps going, which is really nice. Brakes, also very good. That's a nice firm pedal. I like that. It's a good car, this. I honestly believe that you don't need to upgrade. More power means nothing in these cars. They are already so fast. You just want the best range and the best price, and then you can upgrade this Quattro version to, you know, a better spec if you like. You can probably get most of the options anyway on this car. Suspension is good. You don't need that. You don't need that upgraded suspension. Oh. So the new base level E-Tron GT Quattro. Yes, it is the one to have. As usual, electricity and performance. It's not a match. You just want the best all-rounder. You've got the biggest range, 622 WLTP, which realistically is around 500 kilometers. Should be doable, which is good. It's fast enough, it looks the business, it drives even better with these facelift updates. So yeah, definitely recommend this car if you're looking for an electric executive saloon. And I prefer it to a Porsche Taycan in many ways, because I feel like it looks better. I like the interior better. Yeah, what's not to love? The fact that it's not an Avant, that it's not a station wagon. That's what I don't love. But other than that, really good car. So back in the Netherlands, fun is over. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little update review of the E-Tron GT Quattro. Subscribe by clicking the big button, really helps us out. Check out this video if you want to watch another one. This playlist is full of POV reviews, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.